Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? Are you freaking kidding me? The 49ers come out and a 10-game winning streak. The first half wasn't what we wanted. Let's just be honest. It left a lot to be kind of, it didn't feel great. Up until those last 2 minutes, whenever you scored that touchdown right before the half, and you got that Shanahan double dip, if you will, where you score right before the half, you get the ball in the second half, and then you go down and score again. And the third quarter, you outscored the Cardinals 17-0. You win the game by 25 points, and there's so many different firsts that come into this, right? 10-game winning streak, check. Sweep your division, 6-0, check. Brandon Ayuk gets 1,000 yards, awesome. George Kittle passes Travis Kelce for most yards ever for a tight end in their first 6 years, awesome. Nick Bosa got close. He got one more sack, which led to his NFL leading. He was at 17.5, got to 18.5. He wanted to get to 19.5 to tie or to break. 19.5 would have tied the all-time record for 49er sacks. Aldon Smith had that. It just was just that little bitty late, just a little bit late. But he got there. He got the sack, which was awesome. You got the win. You got the 2 seed. Giants didn't do their part, but that's all right. And, man, I love this right here. Scott, he says, Tayshaun Gibson, that like button. Tayshaun Gibson goes out there and gets 2 picks. They were throwing interceptions like crazy. 3 total interceptions in the game. 3 safeties. It was the same safety position. 2 to Tayshaun Gibson. Then when the route was on and was so bad you put your backups in, then your all-team, all NFL special teamer, George Odom, goes and gets a pick too. That dude did not want to go down. He tried so hard to score that touchdown. Don, he says, John Larry Chapman, if you missed our watch party, we had a really good time. Watched the game with a bunch of friends and just kind of talked about things. It was really, really good time. So that's shout out to he's that's a little issue with there, which is awesome. The middle name's not Larry, but we'll let that stand. We'll let that stand. From I'm Nobody You Need to Know. 1 division sweep since 1997. Thank you for the super chat. Absolutely love it. Every single team in the NFL has one goal. You have one goal. It all starts with beating your division. Now, the Super Bowl and the playoffs and all those things are important. But every single team, whether you are middle school, high school, college, NFL, doesn't matter. Win your division. Not only did the Niners win their division, they swept them. 6-0. It's incredible. That alone, that feat alone is a testament to this team and just how strong it is to overcome. The Cardinals came out throwing everything they had. They threw the kitchen sink, right? First, play, or second play, flea flicker, huge touchdown. They're jumping up and down on the sidelines. Then you got to scrap your way back. Then you got to prove to them, look, you're not who you think you are. You are beneath us, and we're going to show you why, and you do that. And then they accept their fate, and that's what you saw in the fourth quarter. Oh, man, I freaking love it. I love it. Daryl, he says, good Lord, man, did you get a chance to eat? I did, which I'm not feeling the best. The fastest thing I could eat was SpaghettiOs, which I don't think I've eaten in like a decade. So yeah, SpaghettiOs and cough syrup. It's the greatest combination that you could imagine. My stomach's so happy right now. But I don't give a damn about food or time or energy or the fact that my throat is killing me, because this team needs to be celebrated. I've spent so much of my life just being in this moment of sports and talking, whether coaching, playing, watching, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is memorable. Do you remember that time? This is a conversation. Do you remember that time when the third string quarterback came in and had 2 or more touchdown passes 6 games in a row? Do you remember that time when the 49ers swept the division and won 10 straight games heading into the playoffs? Do you remember that time when people said fire Shanahan because of a quarterback injury, and then he sprung off 10 wins with 2 different quarterbacks? I remember. Why? Because it's right now, baby. And one of the things that I want to stress to people the most is to be in the moment. And whether that's good or bad, that's okay. And I have a very difficult time whenever things are bad. When the 49ers get eliminated from the playoffs in 2020, I'm doing mock drafts in October. Right? Looking forward. Well, why were we looking forward then? We were looking forward for this. And so now we have this, right? And so you enjoy that and you embrace that. And that's what we're trying to do here, right? Right here. Flat Plain Oregon. I love that tag name. You build your team to beat the teams in your division, period. And I go back and forth on this. Who gets credit? It's both and, not either or. This team has been built to dominate the division, and it has. It has also been coached to dominate this division, and it has. I don't know what's better. You know, people talk about Shanahan being the coach of the year, and he deserves to be in that conversation. But he's also coaching one of the best rosters in the NFL. Is that a negative? I don't know. He also didn't get coach of the year whenever he went from the second worst team in the NFL to the Super Bowl. So you got to pick your criteria and all those things. But man, this team, Sean says tequila goes great with that meal. There we go. SpaghettiOs, cough syrup, and tequila. Cough syrup is pretty close to tequila, man. I could shoot tequila better than that stuff. Yeah. And I love this, James. Breaking news. Arizona lost game 1 of next season. This is alluding to the fact that not one team all year that played the 49ers lost the following week. Every single team. 0-15. The only team that didn't had a bye, that was the Kansas City Chiefs, and they went to overtime even after resting a week. Plus, Arizona's not going to the playoffs, so not one team that the 49ers have played won the following week. Not one. Out of 15 teams, 0-15. The way you play matters. And I'm not trying to take shots at finesse teams. 49ers are not a finesse team. Even if you look at our finesse positions, wide receivers, running backs, all those things. Debo ain't finesse. Kittle ain't finesse. Jay Mason ain't. Elijah Mitchell? Talk to me about Elijah Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this stat line. This is, I don't know what's the biggest glaring thing out of this. 5 carries, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. That dude ran like a man possessed. Man possessed. He is incredible. I love that he only got 5 carries. But that dude was bludgeoning people. I see somebody in the chat talking about people were calling to trade Kittle before this season. You know, there's a couple litmus test players that if you just bring certain players up, you could tell if people watch football and understand the importance of football. Eric Armstead, George Kittle, Dre Greenlaw, those 3 right there, simple. Hey, what are your thoughts on these 3 players? And if they're oh, overpaid, blah, 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 whatever, should have kept Buckner, all those things. I'm just all right, you don't get it. You don't watch. You know what I mean? You don't watch the film. You don't see it. And that's okay. I'm not trying to say that that's I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying it's a litmus test because you see how pivotal those players are when they play and how great they make everybody else around them, right? George Kittle, Eric Armstead, Dre Greenlaw, everybody knows Fred Warner, and he's incredible. And shout out to Fred Warner. He got 8 tackles, I believe. He had to get 6 today. He got 8 tackles, which means he passed Dre Greenlaw for most tackles this year, which is awesome. It's always fun interposition, kind of battles and all those things. But when you see these players like those guys that just continually just bring out the best in everybody else, it's awesome. And again, we all know the superstars. That's simple. But whenever you pay attention to these other kind of behind the scenes defensive tackle, back, number 2 linebacker, tight end. Oh, if he's not getting fantasy points, he must not be good. Wrong. Go watch that. What's it called? One of the Elijah Mitchell touchdowns, and he pancakes a dude right at the point of attack. Like, so good. Plus his own 2 touchdowns. Does it all. Sean, thank you, my friend. It says, nobody wins after they play us this year. Niners have only lost to the Super Bowl winner in the playoffs the last 20 years. That is true. There's only one way both of these stats survive the postseason. Playing the 49ers is a death sentence. Now, who is going to play the 49ers? As I'm watching this right now, it's looking like it's going to be the Seahawks. They're in overtime. They did freaking bonk it off the uprights earlier. Could have won at the end of regulation. But if Seattle wins, which it looks like they're going to, then it's the Packers or Seattle. If Seattle loses, then it's the Packers or the Lions. So those are it's still the same 3 teams that we've been talking about all week. It's still there, and we're in overtime. I really want to play the Seattle Seahawks personally, just because I don't think they're a good football team. And that's just not. I'm not there. I just don't trust them. I don't think they're that good. I don't think they have that much teeth. But back to the 49ers. Let's talk about Brock Purdy. Dude goes 15 of 20, 178 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 4 sacks, 141.3 quarterback rating. 158.3 is perfect. That's how close he was to a perfect game. I mean, he was on fire. A couple of those passes were drops. Ayuk over the middle, difficult catch for sure. That was a drop. Juwan Jennings, difficult catch. It was a drop. He was so good. At no point was the ball put in jeopardy. I mean, he just protected the ball, and you can see it with Kyle Shanahan's play calling. They trust him to do whatever he wants, whether it's 3rd and goal, 4th and 1. Okay, let's be real. Okay, can we talk about how terrible he is at quarterback sneaks? Brock Purdy sucks at quarterback sneaks, ladies and gentlemen. Jimmy Garoppolo, the 2nd best of all time. Brock Purdy, probably 2nd worst of all time. He's so bad. So much so, it's like 3rd or 4th and 1, and you got to do a rollout, and he throws a touchdown to Kittle, which is great. But yeah, Brock Purdy, he sucks at quarterback sneaks. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just not his thing. It's just not his thing. So that's funny to me, but Purdy was incredible. And listen to the 6 games that he's played in. Okay, you ready? The Miami game, 33 points. Bucks, 35. Seattle, short week, 21. Commanders, 37. Raiders, 37. This game, 38. And Seattle wins. So now it's down. The Lions are eliminated. It is either the Seahawks, who I want to play, or the Packers. That's what it's going to come down to. And maybe this is the last time we ever see Sean McVay on the sidelines for the Los Angeles Rams. We will see. But back to Brock Purdy. 6 consecutive games, he has thrown 2 or more touchdowns. He threw 3 today. No interceptions. He has never, in any game he has started in, and again, if you want to take the Miami game out because he came in on the 2nd drive, it wasn't technically a start, that's cool. Still threw 2 touchdowns. He scored 30 points or more in 5 out of 6 games. The 49ers have only scored over 30 points twice before he stepped in at quarterback. He stepped in at quarterback week 13. So weeks 1 through 12, 30 points twice. And somebody, I was putting stuff out there earlier, and they're like, well, it would have been different if Jimmy Garoppolo played 6 games with CMC. So I went back and I was like, not that this was like an anti-Jimmy G thing. This was a pro Brock Purdy thing. I'm allowed to be pro Brock Purdy, and we all should be. I'm a very pro Jimmy guy too. But somebody tried coming back at me like, oh, well, whatever. And I was like, well, okay, interesting. Because Jimmy Garoppolo played with the Chiefs, CMC. He had him with the Chiefs, even though it was just a half. The Rams, the Chargers, the Cardinals, the Saints, and the Dolphins game, which he played in. So technically, Jimmy G did play 6 games exactly with CMC. It's not CMC changes everything, and he's only gotten better and better and better and better. Shout out to Juan. Yes, Seattle won. So again, playoff implications, it is the Packers or the Seahawks. That is who we will be playing. And whichever team we are playing, as soon as I finish this, man, it's off to work for me. I got to buy a TV, a generator, get all that stuff shipped out to my man Marquise. We are going to be partying. We are going to be tailgating at the 49ers wildcard game, whether that is Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. Doesn't matter. We're going to be there. Get your tickets. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. We're going to have an absolute blast. It is going to sell out. We are not selling as many tickets as we can. I don't want to do that. If you know me, if you've met me, if you come to our parties, I want to meet people. I want to talk to people. We've had a couple parties that got oversold, which was awesome. I didn't get to talk to everybody, and that is not okay with me. You come to my party, we're hanging out, baby. That's just what it is. Anyway, Big Papa says, John, Harbor Freight for your generator. I'm just getting one of the small ones. All we got to do is power a speaker and a TV. That's it. So I've done a little bit of research. I feel like I got the right generator. Anyway, I'm not getting a big one. So anyway, I'll throw that out there. Now, back to more things about the Niners that they just continue to deliver on. Another second half shutout. Yeah, there were some issues in the first half. There's no doubt about it. I get all the Demo complaints. I understand that. I'm telling you right now, Demo gave up his first touchdown of the year today. His entire freaking season hasn't allowed one touchdown, and he gave up one touchdown today. And it could have been stopped by Tayshaun, but he got juked by AJ Green, but whatever. He was in position. He didn't bite. You know, what did D'Amico say in his press conference about issues in the secondary? He says they're playing with dirty eyes, which means they're peeking in the backfield, playing the run too much, all the play actions, all that, whatever else. Demo didn't. He was right where he was supposed to be. A.J. Brown, I think it was offensive pass interference, but whatever, just out-jumped him. Me and Wayne on the watch party show, we were arguing about it too, but like, Demo was good this game. Demo was good. I really thought he was. I didn't have any issues whatsoever with him. That play sucked. I get it. And then they had another nice drive. But if you look at like everything in whole, the Cardinals had 11 first downs. That is trash. 49ers had 21. They had 255 total yards. That's incredible. You did what you wanted to do to them. They were 4-10 on third downs, 0-2 on fourth downs. Again, another 3 games in a row with the 49ers defense getting a stop on 4th and 1. Freaking, that's incredible. The sad news is we got no points off that first half stop, but that was the changing of the tides, right? As soon as you got that 4th down stop on the quarterback sneak, it was just like, okay, here we go. Let's do this. Oh, man, I freaking love it. James, I do like this comment. He says, I want Green Bay. I want Aaron to be 0-5 against us. Never beat us in the playoffs. He's playing red hot right now. Their whole team is playing good. You know, if you look at just the standings of the entire NFC, the 49ers have won 10 in a row. The next closest team in the NFC is the Packers. They've won 4 in a row. They're going to have to win 5 in a row to get into the playoffs. So you're pitting the 2 hottest teams in the NFL against each other. No other team in the NFC has more than a 2-game winning streak. None of them do. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Dallas got blown out. Good gosh. Losing by 20 whenever they could have won the first seed. Dak throwing pick sixes. Dallas, yikes. Seattle won, and the, Eagles won. So you've got kind of your seedings. You've got everything that needs to be there. And I'm with you, James. I want to be the reason Aaron Rodgers retires. A lot of people coming in here with their Rodgers hate, and I love that. But I think, again, if I have to make this about us, the 49ers, right? Let's make this show about who we are, who this team is. Because I think that they continually showed over and over and over again, they're the bullies. They are the NFL problem child that bosses people around. And again, I've heard the criticisms like, man, who have y'all beat? Oh, just 10 teams in a row. We have the largest win streak of any team in the NFL this year. Nobody else has gotten close to us. I think 8 was the most by another team. There are, again, if you look at the AFC, which AFC is a different beast because I think they have 3 teams in the AFC that are just unreal. Kansas City Chiefs have won 5 in a row. Jaguars have won 5 in a row. Bills have won 7 in a row. And the Bengals have won 8 in a row. That's incredible. All that's incredible. But 49ers won 10 in a row. I don't know, man. I am very, very happy with where this team is. I don't give a damn who we play. If we were playing the Eagles this week, I think the Niners should be favored by 2.5 points, even if that game's in Philly. That's how I see it. Now, if Eagles play their best game and the Niners play their best game, 5 out of 5, right? It's a coin flip game. I think that's just kind of the way it is. But I'm not taking anybody over this team at all. There's no way in hell I'm taking them over this team. Now, a couple things, just real quick announcements. One, right after this show ends, give me 5 minutes. I said 6:15 on there, but it's going to be a little earlier than that. The Niners game ended pretty early because they were running the ball so much. We are going to be going live about 5 minutes after this show ends over on Patreon, where we have our Zoom session hangout where I hear from you, which I'm super excited about. We're going to be talking about the playoffs. We're going to be talking about the matchups. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff, the game today, end of season awards, all that kind of stuff. So come hang out with us. It's Jerry Rice tier and above. And if you haven't signed up yet, guess what? That's okay. That's okay. All you got to do is just head over to patreon.com/49ers Rush Podcast and sign up. If you don't like it, or if it's not to your liking, come to the Zoom party tonight. Hang out with us. If you don't like it, money back guaranteed, no questions asked, full refund, no issues. All you got to do is just Google 49ers and Patreon. We are right there. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a good time. Usually the people that come we've got like 400 and I think 15 people in it now. So like we're building a community, which is nice. The recovery. What's up, man? I love the chain. Appreciate the gift. Hey, John, that was a nice win. It's crazy the Seahawks eliminated the Lions, but the Lions need to win. Yeah, they're kind of going against each other, right? And I'll tell you anything. I'm not the biggest Dan Campbell guy. Like, after a while, just kind of wears on me that, like, I don't need that crazy monster man to motivate me. But that team's going to play for him. And I respect the hell out of that. So just because the Lions can't make the playoffs, sorry, Don Burr, wherever you are. Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. It's going to be a game. It's going to be a fun game. I think the Packers are going to win, but I'm hoping the Lions win. That's who I'm pulling for. That's who I'm pulling for. So we'll see there. And yeah, right here, this is the right attitude, Kellen. Either way, pumped to see the Niners beat the Packers or the Seahawks. Go Niners. Heck yeah. That's the attitude. No team wants to play us. There's not a team in the NFL that wants to play the 49ers. Also, probably not a team in the NFL that wants to play the Chiefs. I don't want to play those guys, but whatever. We'll deal with that whenever we do. AFC doesn't matter to me. The question is, can the 49ers get to 14 wins in a row? They're at 10. Wild card round, divisional round, championship round, NFC championship, Super Bowl. Just got 4 more. That's it. The craziest thing, they're the healthiest they've ever been. I can never recall a time this 49ers team, since Kyle Shanahan's arrived, has been this healthy. I don't know when that is. I do not know when that is. And, you know, if we're looking at kind of players of the game, we were talking about this on our live show. If you had to pick players of the game, let's go defense. You know, you pick 1 or 2 players that kind of stood out. Gosh, Jordan Willis was unbelievable. Tayshaun Gibson, awesome. You get 2 turnovers, freaking great job. I thought Azeez played really well at times. He had some mistakes in the first quarter, but I thought he played well filling in for Drake Greenlaw. We'll have to see what happens there. Fred Warner's always great. But yeah, those 2 players, Jordan Willis, Tayshaun Gibson, those are my 2 defensive players. If we go offensive, now you're in trouble, right? Because Brock Purdy was a stud, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Elijah Mitchell was unbelievable. 2 touchdowns on 5 carries, 55 yards. Christian McCaffrey does what he does all the time. George Kittle, you got 4 guys. How do you pick when you got 4 guys that just dominated the whole entire freaking game offensively? If I'm picking, man, I don't even like this. If I had to narrow it down to 2, I think I'm going to go Brock Purdy and George Kittle, which it don't matter which 2 I pick, somebody's being lost there. Elijah Mitchell only had 5 carries, but man, they were huge. 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey was unreal. But I thought Purdy, tell me who are your 2? Who are your 2 offensive players of the game? Tell me who your 2 defensive players of the game should be, because I want to see that. That's something I want to see. And I don't know, man. This team is Debo comes back, you use him as a decoy, and it works perfectly. That first play to Kyle Juszczyk that was wide open in the middle was hilarious. You send out Christian McCaffrey this way, it's mirrored. Christian McCaffrey goes this way, Debo goes this way, Kyle Juszczyk just does this. Boom, right in the middle. Linebackers chase Debo, chase CMC, wide open in the middle. Like Shanahan just cooking people. Yeah, Jeff says Kittle with that huge block from Mitchell. And, Kittle's a clown. And I mean that in the best possible sense. Like, I'm not trying to be. Dude literally has a clown tattooed on his freaking arm. He gets up and celebrates and flexes and does gigantic touchdown celebrations. But if you go back and you watch the 2 Mitchell touchdowns, no, sorry, it was 1 Mitchell touchdown where he pancaked a guy. He had a bigger celebration for Mitchell's touchdown. JP Mason scores a touchdown, which got called back. Bigger celebration for that one than when he scores touchdowns. I love Kittle so much, man. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to have constant conversations and DMs about, oh, we should trade Kittle. He's not worth it. He's not worth it. And I'm just like, what? What are you watching? Blocking, catching, receiving. He just broke the record for most receiving yards ever in the first 6 years as a tight end. Beat Kelsey. 1,000 times better blocker this year than Kelsey has been his entire career or ever will be. Like, if you don't like Kittle, what do you want there? I mean, Croft's been great. I like Croft. God, Kittle's just been so damn good. James says, how does it feel to know we need to be thankful for CJ that we have George? Yeah, you're talking about CJ Beathard. Yeah, they got him in a package deal. Worth it. You spent a 3rd on CJ, spent a 5th on Kittle. Should have been a top 10 pick. Nobody knew it, but yeah, he's good. Kellon says, with the Super Bowl win, Purdy shoots up my all-time favorite Niners list. Definitely top 10. Nobody's ever seen it. No rookie quarterback's ever won a Super Bowl. No Mr. Irrelevant has ever attempted a pass in the NFL before him. Are you kidding me? This dude just won freaking 6 in a row. Yeah. I want this story to continue to play out, right? Like, again, I said this earlier. Be in the moment. And the moment right now is Brock Purdy. That's all there is to it. The last, and man, I forget who put this question out there during the watch party. I'm going to be wrong. I think it was Sean. Sean came up with this question. The last rookie quarterback to throw multiple touchdowns in 5 straight games was Herbert, who's like unbelievable. He's the top 3 quarterback in the NFL. No matter how you look at it, he's top 3. That's where Purdy is, but he was picked 262, not 6. He won a 1st-round pick. He was a 7th-round pick. This dude's doing things that rookies cannot do and have not done in their lives, ever, historically. How much of that is Purdy? How much is that is the 49ers? How much is that Shanahan? I don't know. But I know Brock Purdy's stats say 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. I know that whenever I watch Brock Purdy, he doesn't put the ball in jeopardy. I know that when Brock Purdy has the game awareness of when to take a sack, he takes a sack and doesn't throw the ball away or do something stupid. Because you've already got points on the board with a field goal. It's 3rd and whatever. Sack's fine. You can still make the field goal. The kid has it up here. He has it. Can't quarterback sneak, though. Dude cannot quarterback sneak. It's what it is. Yeah. And I love this. All the Kittle love. He deserves it, man. That dude has been one of the best leaders. That's just all it is. Grand. Look at the Grand. He says, Purdy turning the league upside down. He's just going around beating all these teams. Oh, look at the teams he's beat, right? Miami ruined their season. They got in luckily. Bucks, Tom Brady, cool. Seahawks, awesome. Commanders, who just destroyed the Cowboys. Raiders, the fact that you have scored over 30 points 5 out of 6 games in a row, that is stupid. That's stupid. It doesn't make sense, man. Whew. Yeah, I just think the 49ers are in a nice spot. And I really want to continue to be in this spot, right? Enjoy this. Could the 49ers lose a playoff game? For sure they could. The NFL is weird. And sometimes the ball goes against you and whatever else. But that doesn't matter right now. What matters right now is the hope and being in the present and just enjoying where we are. You're the number 2 seed after being 3-4, after losing 2 quarterbacks. This is awesome, man. I'm so excited about so many things. Now, a couple things. Right after this, again, just going to say we're going to be live on Patreon for our Zoom hangout meeting, which is going to be a blast. Tomorrow, my cousin's getting married. And if you came out to our Atlanta party, you got to meet him and his new fiance. Shout out Kelly. She's amazing. I'm flying him out here for his birthday. He's a Bulldog, Georgia Bulldog. Go Dogs. So I'm getting him out here. I'm taking him to the national championship game tomorrow, the Georgia TCU game, for his wedding present. So I'm just throwing this out there. My breakdowns might be a day late because I'm going to be at the game and I'm going to be hanging out with my cousin who I don't get to see very often. So just give me one day. I'm going to still try to get all my stuff done early on if he's sleeping, but we'll figure it out. So I just want to let you know tomorrow might be a little bit late, but gosh, the 49ers 10 in a row. This is awesome, guys. Hope you enjoy this. Now, we're done here. Join us over at Zoom. And as always, remember, stay strong, faithful.